Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Taco Tuesday. Thank you guys for coming. I am joined by my co-host Rod next to me. Below me is Sonny Las Vegas. He has been on with us quite a few times before. And then caddy corner underneath Rod is Chris from Buck Mountain Barn. This is his first time here. So I am going to let these two gentlemen introduce themselves. Get your questions in early, guys. We already have 13 questions and we haven't even started. So if you want us to get to your questions, get them in as early as you can just to make sure. And here is Sonny.
Welcome, everybody, for coming to visit Kat, who everybody wants to see. Doesn't matter that I'm here. I'm just happy to be part of the ride. And Rod is okay at times. I am a reseller. I've been reselling for 2 years full time, but altogether 6-7 years now. I think I like everything. I like to resell things that make me a profit, and that is my niche, making profits.
Perfect. Here is Chris.
Hi everyone, Chris with Buck Mountain Barn. I've been a reseller since 2019. I pretty much sell everything. I do a little bit of whatnot also, and then that's pretty much it. I just sell everything I possibly can.
And you have a YouTube, right?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel called Buck Mountain Barn. If you guys come along and enjoy some videos that I've put together, I just started about a couple of months ago, so we're just getting started. We got a low count of subscribers, so we're just pushing to get that up.
Perfect.
How many subscribers do you have currently?
280.
Let's change that, folks. That's what we do around these parts.
Listen to Sonny. Sonny's like this. Let's change that. I have the hair to match Sonny hair. I can beat Sonny.
It's now a mustache.
I would have to go dark. This is like my natural hair color now. I haven't had any dye in it in a year now. So this is my hair color. All right, let's see. McLeod is first and wants to know, what do you feel the problem with eBay is right now? Do you think it's the search economy or something else that would account for low sales? And I want to say not everybody has low sales. I am in the low sales group. I am in that group. But I see a lot of people that are not. So I just want to say that.
There's a difference of low sales from me compared to Kat, which I don't even want to compare and ask her. I will say...
You might be beating me, Sonny. You might be beating me. Pretty low.
Let me stick to the question. I will say it's due to competition. Platforms are learning that they need to adjust to the customers, and resellers need to follow through on that. It takes time to really learn and bring in not only an audience, viewers if you're a content creator, but also customer base. There's a big difference, and they aren't always the same of your viewers to customers. So it's really seeing what they want. If you come across it quite a bit of these items that they're looking for, if you could get it for a good price, test the waters, but always stick to what works. Don't change things completely, add little changes along the way.
I think it's a combination of a couple of things, to be quite honest with you. So I'm a part-time reseller right now. I've had to go part-time. So I think it could be a combination of how much effort, how much time are you able to spend with your store and doing things with your store. Also, I do think the economy could possibly have something to do with it, because certain areas of the country, it's harder to live than it is in other areas. So that could be part of the problem also. So that's just what I feel it is.
I think it really comes down to different categories that you're selling in, because if the economy is doing really well, eBay is going to do well. If the economy is doing bad, people are going to buy secondhand items. So, when people say, is eBay the problem? I think it's a combination of things. One is I think they keep trying to change things, their algorithm, and it messes things up for weeks at a time. We know that for a fact. That has been proven. We see it happen every time they do an update. We run slow sales for a week or two. But Sonny brought up a good competition. The good point about competition. I think there's more competition now than there ever was. 10, 15 years ago, you either sold on Amazon or eBay or local. That was it. Now there's Posh, Macari, whatnot now. Like the market's evolving, and you guys need to evolve with it. We always say in the show, you guys have to pivot. So I would say my sales are low. My day sales have been really low, but then I have days like last Monday, I did $1,400 in sales for one day. So but then the day before that, I did $35, which is unheard of for me. So I'm having extreme ups and downs. It is a roller coaster, but I think you guys all need to take a step back. Look at it from what are you guys doing that week? What are you doing that month? Because you have a better understanding. Maybe sales aren't as slow as we think it is. We're just having some extreme ups and lows as well along the way.
Yeah, and mine are low, but like today I'm at $320, which is pretty average for me. But that's because here's the thing. I am teaching somebody new to list. So while I was in here with her today, I had a bag of returns that I hadn't processed. One of them was sitting in here for a year. It was a $200 item. I listed it an hour later. I got a $125 offer. And I said, you know what? It's been sitting on the floor a year. I'm going to take $125. And that kind of kickstarted it. And I think for me, I'm not putting the effort in. 100%, it is me. I think some is the economy, but I am not listing. I actually have finally, so everybody gave me suggestions. The high school sent me a student to work for credit hours, and she's coming to interview with me tomorrow. Plus I have someone else. So I'm hoping if I can put more time into eBay, I will see the rewards. I might not. I hope that I will. I hope I will. And our whatnot has been down over 50% as well. I actually have not made any money on my last 3 sales. I have broke even, which is not any fun as a reseller. So I'm trying to switch that up. I did a pop-up today, and this is the same thing as eBay, guys. Look for different stuff. Look for what's selling. I switched it up, did some antique die cuts, and I sold out. I didn't make a ton, but I had a good sale, and I wasn't paying anybody but myself. I just ran a pop-up, pulled them, did it myself, and that made me a little bit more. So I think you need to get more creative and look at other platforms. We sold more on Poshmark this weekend than we did on eBay, which is a first. Never has happened before. So definitely look at the other platforms. Yeah, and I mean, Gail's right. Like, you change your focus and sales drop. That's why I made the decision to do either eBay or Amazon and dropped Amazon years ago.
I want to address this right here because we get this a lot. The economy sucks. And here's the thing. We preach this on this show every single week. You make your money on the purchase, not the sell. So if the economy sucks, during the pandemic when everyone's losing their jobs, I was buying out massive collections at cents on the dollar. So when the economy is down, you can get really good deals and stuff and make your money. So if you're buying at a low cost at all times, it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. You can still make money on that. Remember that. And make your money in the buy, not the sell.
Everybody say hi to my sister-in-law. Say hi, Karina.
Aloha, Karina.
Mark, so here's the deal. Mark, you know why my sales are up on Posh. They do not, and they will not know until Thursday, so please do not tell them in the chat. There will be a video. So be quiet. Except for your super chat. You're allowed to speak to send me money. That is okay. Mark sent a $5 super chat, said not a late fee. It's a fund to help my sales. I need a fund to help my sales. But it's hard. It's like Whatnot and eBay is like me with eBay and Amazon. And when I was trying to tackle eBay and Amazon at the same time, both were mediocre, which is scary. So but Whatnot's down now. So I don't know. You're going to have to watch the story unfold before your eyes.
So
because go ahead, Ron.
Do you think that your Whatnot's down because you've exhausted just doing so much jewelry? Or do you think that you need to pivot other categories?
Per Aunt Roberta, my jewelry sucked the last 2 shows.
Okay. So it was the quality of items you had. I did not
think my jewelry sucked. Thank you very much. I liked it. But apparently maybe I had bad taste for a couple of shows. So that's what Aunt Roberta told me. She said, no offense, Kat. But so you're going to see a commercial earlier. I'm stepping up my game, and tomorrow night and Friday night are all high dollar items on Whatnot. So I am hitting it hard. I guess maybe I should have Aunt Roberta like scan my items before I put them on Whatnot. I don't know. Because Mark was going to tell my secret, I'm going to give him Rod. He gets Rod. That's what you get.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.
Okay. Boom. I've changed, like, so Gail said I've changed what I'm selling. I've never sold one thing though. On Whatnot, it's all jewelry. On eBay, I go through phases and I will buy a lot of one thing and then I get bored and then I move on to the next thing because that is what I do. But I haven't been looking for a ton of breakables because shipping breakables at $20, $25, $30 is not appealing to me anymore.
When you say shipping breakables, are you breaking the items people buy?
No.
I'm just joking. I thought there was like a new thing going on that I'm missing out on.
That would make, but nothing was breaking. It's just the time. See, Sean says it was good jewelry. See, Aunt Roberta? No, I'm just, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion. But, you know, I'm switching it up. I'll show you guys a commercial later in the show. You're not going to have a choice. I'm going to force you to watch it. Road Tripper Thrifter wants to know, and I'll just answer this. Can something you purchased on Whatnot be resold? Absolutely. Absolutely. I buy stuff from people all the time to show support, and I'm not buying it because I want it. I'm buying it to show support, and then I put it back up and I resell it.
Every Whatnot auction I have giveaways that I buy from other resellers on Whatnot. Help support the community.
Yeah, 100%.
I have a friend that's how they source, is they source through Whatnot and then they sell it on Whatnot or eBay or whatever.
Whatnot is a great way to source because you're going to get items 60 cents on the dollar. You can flip those on eBay.
Yeah, for sure. Miss Rachel said, what is something you thrifted before for resale, but now you never will again, and why?
That's a good question. I like a lot of things and do well selling the things that I'm familiar with, but I've noticed I tend to be getting away from apparel, which is my more than bread and butter for years. But I've started to get into vintage jewelry like cat sales, and glass is a new thing, and I love lamps.
So
when go ahead, Rob.
No, so what is the thing you're never going to sell again?
There's nothing that I'm not selling. It's more of apparel that I'm not buying more of.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat with shoes. When I first started, I picked up a lot of shoes, you know, and it just got tedious of cleaning them. I hated cleaning shoes. So what I do now, it's not that I don't buy them anymore. I got a local flea market that I can get them for $10 to $15 a pair, and they're already cleaned, and I ain't got to worry about cleaning them. So I'll get the shoes that way. If they're already clean, I'll pick them up. If they're dirty, I won't pick them up. Cleaning shoes, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
For me, it's ice skates and rollerblades. I used to pick them up here and there, but they take up a lot of space. They never sit properly, and they're just a pain. So I won't pick them up. I know it's a weird one.
So I don't know that there's anything that I won't pick up, but I haven't thrifted in months, guys. So thrifted for me is not really a concept in the last few months. But I will be checking sell-through rate a lot more than I used to. And I want to see like 40, 50% minimum sell-through if I'm going to pick stuff up, which is going to make my big hauls a lot smaller. I guarantee you, a lot smaller. Diane wants to know if any of us are doing eBay open, virtual, or in person. And if you have done it before, do you think it is worth the time?
Never done it before, not going this time, but next year, yes. I want to start making more events.
I've never done it before, and I'm not going to do it this year either. So,
yeah, I was actually asked to come this year, but it actually didn't work in my schedule. So I hopefully go there next year, and I want to hit more events as much as possible. So hopefully next year I can get down there and network with a lot of people.
Yeah, so I have never attended either, and I was going to try to, but I don't have the time with everything else going on. I think it's good for networking, and I think you could learn a lot of stuff. So if you have the time and can fit it to your schedule, I would try it. And I think virtual is free. There's no cost for that. So I don't know why you wouldn't if you have the time to do it. Tammy wants to know what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned as a reseller.
My most valuable lesson was just being honest with the description, not overselling it with descriptions or titles. It has to match the item. And sometimes, yes, I am happily guilty of making things not sound as good as they are. And when they receive it, they say, this is pretty much new. So I don't try to oversell something. When they get it, they're going to see it for themselves. And even if it's a perfect condition, they could still do a return if possible. I do free returns. But that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is just to be really honest to myself and not so much of the item. Well, item too, but just being honest with it all.
The one thing I learned that's important to me, I just learned this not too long ago, to be quite honest with you, amazingly. I used to just pick up anything. You know, I did check the sold comps and stuff like that, but I would just pick up anything. And like we was talking about earlier, slow sales and the way the economy is, I've learned that sometimes you got to pay up on items to get if you're only selling 1 or 2 items a day, you know, when you paid up for those items and they sell $70, $80, $100, then those 1 or 2 items a day, you're up to $200 in sales in a day. So that's what I've learned is better quality items, I guess you would say.
So this is a very tough one for me because I still have struggled with this one, but it's okay to say no to profits. It's okay to say no to making money and leaving stuff behind. I have that problem where I think I can sell everything sometimes, and I will overbuy, and then it causes me to have my death pile to explode, which makes me have anxiety, which makes me feel overwhelmed, and it's not a good feeling. So it is okay to say no. And that's one thing that I still to this day I still struggle with. But I would say if anyone has kids or even your spouse, the other important lesson is teach your family what you do, because at any point in time you get into a bind, your kids can make money in college. They can make flipping items around the house, stuff like that. So one of the most important things is to teach your children, teach your spouse what you do. They don't have to do it all the time, but teach them how to do that, because if they ever they lose their job, something happens, sickness, they can be able to sell things at home. That's very important. So that's why I'm having my stepson run my whatnots with me, just so he can get a better understanding and see the money coming in, see what we're doing, get a better understanding of things.
Yeah, and I employ my children and they have to work, so they have no choice. I agree with Rod, and I've been doing very well not adding to the death pile. I've actually been doing what Chris said, and I'm either buying jewelry or higher dollar profit items that I'm paying $60, $70, $100 for, that are going to make me $100 plus profit. I think organization, like Mark said, where did it go? Using a proper inventory system, be able to find stuff. And if you're not going to remember, label it, even if it's under the desk. But I think having some kind of inventory system is good. But I think the most important is to be able to be flexible and to pivot. Like today, like my whatnot sale wasn't great last night. I said, I'm going to pop up, do something different today. I made a little bit of extra money. I didn't feel the greatest today, but I did it. I made my sales. So you got to be able to pivot. You got to be flexible. You got to learn new things. You can't keep doing it the way you always do it, because everything is changing. The platforms are changing. The economy is changing. You might have to change what you buy. You might have to change where you buy it. You have to be very flexible on what you're doing if you want to have a continued, source of income, in my opinion. Oh, this is fun. You might have to look this up. Sue wants to know what's the oldest item in your store and how long has it been there?
Give me a second. Somebody could go first if they got the answer.
Chris, do you know what yours is?
Yes, because I seen this question earlier. Mine is it's a brand new in the box. It's called Foam Corpse. It's a tank. It's a model. It's a 3D model of a tank. I've had it for 2 years now, and I just can't sell it. I just can't. I mean, I've put 50%, 75% sales on it. I just cannot sell it. But real quick, I want to say hi to my grandson, Easton. He's standing in front of the TV trying to figure out why I don't say to him. So, Easton, hello. I got a text message with a picture, and I just want to say hi to him real quick.
For me, it's a handheld old Nintendo system that I bought during the pandemic to flip, and then they flooded the market, so I just have it sit in my store. It's been there for like 3 years. It's a handheld video game system.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Mine, hold on, I'm going to click. I think I know what it is. All this ending and selling similar is going to mess me up. I think it's a tie I thought I could sell, and I think I've had it for 3 years, and I should probably just throw it away. Oh, wait, nope. Okay, here it is, guys. It listed on September 26, 2020, 2 years, 11 months, 17 days, North America's greatest fly fishing destinations in Canada. It is a book.
Oh, wow.
It is a book. But I listed it, so it's just there.
I have a beanie. It's a Billabong knitted beanie. I used to do really well. This was back in 2021, August 13th. I used to do really good with the visor beanies, and they would sell like hotcakes, although I've never sold hotcakes. And maybe that's the reason why this one just is sitting around. I need to donate this stuff. I need to go through it. So these questions are good too for me to learn from, to go in there and see what hasn't sold, pull them out and donate them, or put them in a shelter where people could benefit from them. So those are some of my plans that I'm going to be doing here recently.
Jackie wants to know, why are eBay's active listings no longer in alphabetical order? So, Miss Jackie, it depends on how you sort them. You probably click something at the top. So they might have been sorted by item title, and that's why they were in alphabetical order. And you do not have to scroll and scroll. You can actually search your listings both on your phone and on the computer. So on the computer, there should be a search bar. You can search the title. And on your phone, if you click your active listings, there's a find button at the top. And you should be able to search and be able to find it by just putting in a word or two. But I bet you accidentally clicked one of the columns on the top, and that's how it decides how those listings are sorted. I have mine sorted by the newest date listed, so that when I go to put away stuff, I can fill in the SKU really easily. So that's how I have mine sorted. Chance! I have a couple of items I comped that were hundreds to thousands of dollars. I've never listed an item for that much. What do you do to protect your profit from scams and accidents, and what is the best platform? Chance, if you're still here, I would tell us what they are, because what type of items they are would definitely influence what platform they would go on.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that one.
Yeah. If it's eBay, though, I always add extra insurance other than what it gives you $100.
I think she means, though, like, what do you do, like, if you list an item for thousands, what can you do to protect yourself? And I think the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
What you can do, make sure the insurance is there in case it gets damaged, and also have them sign for it.
Yeah,
where you're shipping it. Right.
I'm waiting to see if she answers. I would say, Rod, what do you do? Like, and maybe give a couple of examples of higher dollar stuff you've sold.
So when I go higher dollar items, I don't ship through the post office. The reason for that is I get better coverage through UPS than I do through the postal service. And also, too, is they're better customer service when it comes to tracking your items if your item does get delayed or lost. So that's one. Second thing is I always do adult delivery confirmation. It's like costs you like $7, but adult has to sign for it. So they have regular signature confirmation, which is like $5. or the driver just signed it that's there, but you actually have an adult person there to sign it. So if you ever run into fraud or any type of scam, you can actually have written proof that that person actually signed for it. And they have to check the ID when they do that. Also, to insure your items. And if it's going to be like really, expensive items, double box it. Because, I mean, not showing what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with glassware, if you're dealing with
No, she said it's a Russian bunny, which is a plush, and a Vernon March statue. So she did answer.
So when it comes to like plush, I would bag it, box it, and double box it just to protect it from anything damaging and stuff like that. Especially if you're dealing with thousands of dollars, for an extra $4 or $5 to double box it. So it goes a long way.
Yeah, so I have sold quite a few items worth thousands of dollars. And I actually was talking to somebody about this today. You can't worry about scam. Like, you're going to scare yourself into never selling anything valuable.
Yes.
If you're going to get scammed, you're going to get scammed. It is what it is, and you'll deal with it and move on. There's nothing you can do. You could block zero feedback buyers. I don't recommend that because some of my best sales have went to zero feedback buyers.
Especially during the holidays, you get a lot of zero feedback buyers. And
they're checking out as guests. I do it because I don't want my husband to see what I'm buying. But I've never, I'll tell you, I've sold multiple things for $2,000 and $3,000 all on eBay, and I've never been scammed on anything. And I think it's like lower price electronic video games. I feel like you're more likely to be scammed on. A Russian expensive teddy bear, I don't feel like you're going to get many scammers. And for both of those, I would say eBay and Etsy are going to be your top two platforms for them.
And I think you made a good point too. I said all my big sales that were for thousands of dollars, no issues. No issues at all. But it's the ones I do for $15, $25 that give me the biggest headaches.
$5 negative feedback.
Yeah. Like it's ridiculous in that. So you also have to remember too is when you are dealing with higher end items, it's a different type of clientele. Mm-hmm. So that clientele has money. They're looking at different items. Good communication with them. But there is Kat said don't block zero feedback, but you can block people that had multiple cancellations of. Oh,
I have that. Items. Okay, they said I'm going wonky. I'm gonna try and reconnect.
You did for a moment, but you're better now.
You're fine. You're fine right now.
Am I good? So my internet was out and I'm on my phone. So if it does that again, just tell me.
Okay.
But yeah, I do require, I add insurance for anything over $100, and I require signature anything over $500. That's my threshold for requiring the signature. Teacher treasure chest, have you bought previously on clothing and accessories in bulk? And if you have, is there a company that you recommend?
I have bought clothing in bulk, but it was from somebody local. It wasn't from a company.
I've never bought clothing in bulk.
So I've done a lot of bulk buys. Usually it's from other resellers. That'd be the first place to start. I would say ask this question. You're going to have a really hard time, especially from other resellers. They're going to provide you information of where they're sourcing from. Because if they're getting it super cheap and making a profit off, a lot of times people pay for those leads, and a lot of times people will keep those leads close to home because they put a lot of hard work on the conventions to get those leads, especially when you're buying massive pallets or bulk buys like that. But I would say your best thing to do is reach out to local sellers. Send me a message. I got plenty of clothes I haven't listed, so you want to bulk buy? Anyone wants to bulk buy, send me a message on IG. I will gladly do a bulk buy with you, so you can make a couple $100 off a box of clothing. But
yeah, and the only place I have bought bulk clothing off of is bstock.com. I actually bought HSN and QVC pallets directly, but I will tell you, those pallets are overstocked, which means they didn't sell for a reason. So I got them, and about 25% of the items sold really fast, and the other 75%, some of it is still sitting here. Some of it I gave away. So a lot of those overstock and return pallets, that stuff's there for a reason. Just remember that. So you're not going to find, in my experience, somewhere you can buy 100% of all good clothing that's going to sell fast. Like, that's just wanting the impossible.
Kat, Uh, the Flip is another cross-posting platform. They have a
Yeah.
section to where you can source big boxes of clothing also.
And I'm sure somebody probably does that on Whatnot too, right? I would think there's bulk clothing on Whatnot.
eBay has a whole wholesale section on eBay that you can actually buy wholesale on eBay too.
Yeah, Kim's saying she got a ThreadUp box. I know Dale Flippin' Fiasco used to use ThreadUp a lot as well.
Yeah, I heard they're hit or
So
miss. So it just
yeah,
depends.
yeah, it's whether or not you get lucky or not. Mr. Bob wants to know, do you send offers on items that you have on sale to watchers? So if you're running a sale, are you going to send an offer out?
Depending on what the price is after like a discount, I'll do it. Back to what Rod said earlier, if you can make a profit off of it, get it out there, keep the rotation going, because it's always going to be a rotation and repetitive of buying stuff, selling stuff. So I'm learning to let go of things because I'm pretty much a hoarder, sad to say, and I need my space back, and that's my payoff.
Yeah, if I got something on sale, depending on how long I've had it, I will send at least a 5% off offer off the sale. But if it's been sitting longer than that, I can do up to 10 to 20% because it's like what he said. You get rid of it. Stale inventory you got to get rid of.
So when I run sales, I usually run sales for 2 or 3 days. I run anything from like 10 to 30% off my sales. So I usually wait till my sale date ends, and then the next day I'll just hammer everybody with massive discounts, 25%, 30%, and I get a lot of sales off that. I don't get a lot of sales when I run sales, believe it or not. I get a couple here and there.
You
I get
offers?
a ton of watchers though.
Yeah. Oh, a ton of like sales from the sale.
Yeah. I get a lot of
Okay.
watchers, and then once my sale ends, that's when I send out my offers to those watchers.
Yeah. So if anybody's been watching me a long time, you know that I mark things up and I run a constant sale. So for me, I send offers, and my offers lately, because sales are so slow, are high. I've been sending, if it's been listed longer than 3 months, I send 30% off just because I'm trying to move inventory and I buy so low. So for me, it wouldn't be more about the sale. It would be about like, how are my sales going? And it would also be, what did I pay for it? And am I still going to make a profit? Like, how much can I offer them and still make a profit? But I send offers to every person every day. Miss Bridget sent a $9.99 super chat and wants to know, so she's talking about buyers. Have you ever had anyone be mean to you and lie about your item?
Yes, but not that many times. Um, One was telling me that I had wrinkle. It wasn't really mean. I guess it's more personal when it's my stuff and people coming in from those who watch me on YouTube go over on eBay and message me. I feel like that's gonna hit me eventually to where eBay thinks I'm doing something outside of their policies. That's what I get a little scared of. But I think the biggest one was years ago. I ended up selling a toy. Person paid like $20 for this Mega Man, no, a Speed Racer car, and when it got to him, it was a little damaged. He went on a rant how valuable it is, and I ended up packing it, not to his standards, which I believe I do pretty good packing. It went off on me, and I just ended up not even replying. People could be mean, but that's why you got to stand behind what you do with your listings and how you pack and ship it to prevent anything that's going to come back your way for something to happen.
Yes, I've had somebody be mean to me, very, very disrespectful over. What happened I can't remember exactly what. I think the item was a dog vest, and they sent me an offer on the vest, and I accepted it. And when I accepted it, apparently they're under one of them betas where the eBay automatically uh, pays you for the item, where that whole scenario there. Well, I got paid, and then I think a few hours later, I think it was a few hours later, I got a message from the person. Why did you accept? Why did you charge my? It was their PayPal account this and this, and it was more or less they was being really, really mean about it. And what the whole issue come out to was they didn't get an option to choose whether to pay it with PayPal or PayPal credit, and they thought that I had that option to choose, and it was my fault that I did it. I ended up canceling the order for the lady, and it was just it turned into a real big misunderstanding, and she was just real ugly about it to start with.
So buyers are liars, plain and simple. And if you sell on eBay, you haven't sold on eBay until you have someone that's mean to you, or it's someone that lies about an item. It's a way of passage on eBay, and it happens. I mean, that's why I always add 2%. Like eBay takes around 13%. I always add 2% just for returns for issues, because you just never know. Factor that into your cost. Just move on. You know, you can't please everybody. Just like I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's going to like me. That's okay. You know, not everyone's going to like the items I put for sale. Not everyone's going to like the way I run my business. That's okay. Just, you know, move on. There's plenty of other people that are going to like it, what you do. Keep your feedback super high, and you're good to go.
Yeah, we've had a few. So Pig, do you see his boo-boo? He had an abscess on his head, and he doesn't feel good, so he was crying at the shed door because he thinks he's a baby. So most recently, I sold a miniature Italian mirror, and the guy was just like really, really nasty about it. Like, to me, oh, this isn't what you said it was. It's not the right size. First, that scared me. First, what he tried to do was say that the box was empty. Okay. He messaged me and said, you sent me an empty box. And I said, I did not send you an empty box. Send me a picture of the box. Let me see the box and the tape and see if the tape has been open. And then I said, and I'll check the weight, because it was weighed at, my post office, and it was weighed throughout its trip. And then he opened a return saying the item was too small. So first you tried to steal it from me. Okay. And really nasty to me, saying I sent you an empty box. And now all of a sudden you have it and want to return it because it's too small. And it had a tape measure with it showing both dimensions, and it was listed as miniature. And he was just like extremely nasty to me. I gave him a return. I blocked him from buying from me again. I reported him because he was trying to steal it. He was trying to say it arrived empty and steal the darn thing, and just really dishonest. And it sucks. I like to think the best of people. I still do. But you've got some people that are like that. And he had been nasty to me in messages before, so I kind of knew he was not the greatest person. So you're gonna have people that are a pain in the butt. You're gonna have people that are rude. Just don't do it back. eBay looks at what you write.
And I think that's why me and you have the real similar return policy, where, we don't get partial refunds with items. I'd rather take a loss on an item, have a buyer return it to me, because 9 out of 10 times you can tell when someone's fishing for a partial refund.
I just had that really scratched too.
Yeah, all the time.
And they said the same thing. They're like, well, and they said it smelled, and I'm like, it's been in an enclosed, climate-controlled area with no animals. It was in my other shed, and I'm like, it did not smell. Like, it did not smell. And
the empty space inside the box
just
smelled.
Give me a partial refund for it. Yeah. No, you need to send it back. And I haven't heard from her since. So, yeah.
Oh, it's her.
Pig is crying. Pig is gotten. So a lot of people know we had a stray cat that kept attacking him, and he's cost me like $2,000 at the vet for abscesses from fighting. So we finally trapped the stray cat and relocated him. We did not harm him. We relocated him, and so now there's no more fights. So hopefully this is the last expensive vet trip for Mr. Pig, I hope. All right, I'm going to give you a dolphin. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Here you go. Dun, 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 dun. Missy Says, I have a diamond ring I want to sell. Would a professional jeweler give me an evaluation free, or do they charge?
I've been meaning to do this myself. From what I've seen is that majority of jewelers will not charge you, but some will.
I'm assuming that they would and some won't. It just depends on where you go.
I do nothing with jewelry, so I give this some cat.
Yeah, if they want to buy it, they would tell you how much it's worth to them for free. That's what ours does, but they wouldn't give you like an appraisal. They're going to tell you what they would pay you for it. Same thing with like a pawn shop or something. Yeah, if you want an actual appraisal of like current market value or resale value, you're probably going to have to pay for that. But a jeweler could tell you if it's real, and they'll tell you what they would pay you for it, which a lot of times might be like half of what you could sell it for, because they're just paying you the melt value typically. Yeah, see, $100 for so if you want an actual appraisal, you're probably going to pay. I would take it first and see, and unless you know for a fact it's real, you could take it to a jeweler and ask them what they would give you. Most jewelry shops buy jewelry just like pawn shops do. I know mine here locally does. They will buy gold and silver as well. Mine even has like a little estate case that's estate jewelry that they bought and they resell. So you could try that first, and
Call them
then
also.
yeah,
Rather than
call
commuting
before
there
you
and then
drive.
telling you sorry you didn't do that, just start calling them. I'm sure somebody's gonna be kind to you and tell you. So if I was doing this, and I will eventually soon, I would call some jewelers and ask them, this is what I'm trying to do, get appraised on a ring. Just be honest with them. And if they say no, we charge, ask them, do you know if anybody who doesn't, somebody they recommend?
Andy, Sonny's boyfriend, you need to come on the show sometime. I haven't talked to Andy in forever. Andy, come on.
He's my favorite stalker. I mean, favorite.
Andy, you need to come on. I'm telling you. Message me. All right, Beverly, you might have answered her in the chat, but Sonny, Beverly wants to know, where are you from in Hawaii?
I'm from the dirty South Texas.
Were you stationed in Hawaii? Right?
I was stationed in Hawaii from 2006 to 2010, 2 days before my birthday, or a day before my birthday, October 10th. And I was there until 2015, until I moved here to the 9th item.
Perfect.
Uh-oh, that bug went over to Rod.
Rod, he did. He got it. I'm like, I didn't give it to you, dude. Me and Rod have both not been feeling well, guys. So if you wonder why we're hiding, we're both feeling not so great.
Stop from my coughing episodes over here.
I drink tap water.
I had coughing last week. This week I'm feeling so, yeah.
You drink Vegas tap water? Oh.
Yes, they have the best nutrients floating around in them from Lake Mead.
So Rachel said she's done well with a low sale on eBay. She's had low sales on eBay, but Etsy's doing good. Etsy's been slow for me, but Posh and Mercari have been doing good. So somebody said I was tin can again. I'm going to see if my house internet's back up. Rod, can you read this one? And I'm going to try and rehook up.
Sure. I'm reorganizing my store in order to increase the dollar value of my sales. What are your tips for increasing the dollar value for eBay store inventory and downsizing long tail items?
Increase dollar value for sales. Tips for increasing dollar value of your eBay store listing. I know people say, and I have had this habit of saying this too, and I've been trying to get other resellers to break down what that means to them. We shouldn't all have the same answer. With enough people, they sound similar. But for me, I've been doing better at finding quality items that don't have damage unless it's a rare item that it's worth getting. After doing some research, if I'm not familiar with it, with sell-through rates or rarities, or even asking friends that are experienced in these things rather than trying to figure it out on my own. And there's a lot of platforms out there too throughout social media that you could drop a photo and say, I need help, and tell them as much as you can. And that'll help you in return.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just more quality items that sell for more. Like I give you an example, I just this last week I bought an item for $50 and it sells for right around $300. So, and that was a pretty big purchase for me. That's the first time I spent $50 on a bigger item to sell that. But as far as downsizing long tail items, what I usually do is I use Whatnot for that. If I got something sitting around that hasn't just sold on eBay, there's somebody out there looking for it. I used to do this. I don't anymore, but on the weekends or here, it's a Wednesdays mornings. Go to the flea market, get you a table, and put them items on the flea market on the table. You're going to get something for them. I mean, sometimes you may not look, you may lose a little bit, but then you may break even also. But you're going to get something for them long tail items.
So a couple of things. One is a flea market is a good idea. Have a yard sale. Move it to a bunch of inventory at a yard sale. Also, to end your items, relist similar, cut the price on all your items. Since they're already up there, you've already done the work. It's also okay to donate items. I literally took a whole truck fill to the Salvation Army just to clear out stuff. I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I'm just clearing it out. I don't care. I don't care if I leave money on the table. That's okay because you're not going to list it. Reinvest it in someone else. You know, reach out to other resellers. Maybe you don't like selling clothing. You have a ton of clothing. Find a reseller in local Facebook group that wants to buy out your inventory. There's a lot of different ways to move inventory. You can downsize. Also, too, like, for example, if you have 3 Hawaiian shirts, they're all XL, instead of putting them up one by one on eBay to maximize your profits, it's okay to put them in a lot of 3 to have a higher sale-through rate. Just put that at a slight discount, you know. So instead of listing the shirts for $15 a piece, maybe list all 3 shirts for $39.99. Now you're moving 3 pieces of inventory with one auction or one listing. So just a couple of different things you could try.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm sending bigger offers on the long tail items that are already listed. And I agree with Rod. Like, I'm thinking twice before listing longer tail now. If it's not worth a lot, I'm not. So he had a great tip about bundling, but I'm also buying a lot less that's worth a lot more. You have to be a lot pickier. You have to be a lot pickier on what you're buying. You can't just go buy everything, which is what we all want to, like, it's great to just go buy stuff until it's sitting there for 2 years, right? So try and think to that. Yeah, so
Lynn, let us know where you're located in the chat so we can get some direct people that can help you out with that.
Yeah,
and before somebody else beats me to it,
I get free stuff. Like, I give free stuff to people that sell at the flea market all the time. Like, if it's lower dollar, I set a box. Like, we just started doing it today. And once the box is filled, then I call them or text them and say, come get this. I give it to them for free. You can donate it. I choose to give it to somebody, you know, that I know, like my local thrift store, the main one, marks up way, way too much. I'm not really happy with their, like, ethics and the way they sell. So I would rather give it to somebody to sell at the flea market. But yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me,
That's a good idea.
I have HOA and I can't do yard sales like I would want. They are set in stone twice a year. And due to growing popularity on YouTube, I'm like 300 away from 13,000. Just saying. Me and my wife don't want people knowing where we live because you just never know. And we want to have a family and we're just trying to safeguard that. But what Rod and
you could do a yard sale at the flea market.
I was just going to say that if you let me talk.
Local church sales do big things.
I was just talking to Carrie, the most amazingest person, the Desert Mermaid. Carrie American Arbitrage is even just as equally amazing. I want to do a get together with my close friends here in Las Vegas and have a flea market sale weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then also go to one where we meet up. And this is not reselling. I just want to add this in there. There's a small Boulder City swap meet here in Las Vegas. It is not in Boulder City. It throws people off on the time. Very small community, very quiet. They have a lot of good things, and I like to promote that place for just community building. So we're planning on having a thrift together there for resellers that come down. We're just trying to figure out when's the best time. Be creative. Yeah. Don't just look at online platforms. If you can make it out to places, do it.
Yeah.
And take a friend. You don't have to go alone. See if there's other people who are in the same boat. trying to clear up space and make some profits and have fun so you're not by yourself.
For sure. Nadia wants to know, she said, my linen sold very well this past Saturday. That was another random pop-up. Guys, if you need to make money, you got to work. And my sales have been low, my jewelry sales. So you've seen me pop up twice this week. So that's 7 days. I did 7 shows in 7 days on Whatnot, guys. But I broke even. I made no money on 3 sales in a row. So I had to do it. Do I plan to sell more linens on Whatnot in the future? Yes, I have been sourcing them this past week, and I do plan on adding linens in, shaking it up a little bit for you guys to get out of that jewelry rut that we've been in. Not a rut, but it's very monotonous, even though it's a bunch of different times. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So yes, I will be selling linens. My ephemera does good if I can find really cute, kitschy stuff. So I'll be looking for more of that as well. So yes, I am looking for ways to spice it up a little bit on Whatnot and hopefully get my sales back where I'm actually making money. I don't like breaking even. That is not the goal of this business. UDL Tube wants to know if you can provide a few hot jewelry title keywords.
Kat's going to be better at that than me. I'm still learning about
I don't know. I might not be.
Yeah, I don't sell jewelry, so I had to message Kat the other day about a piece I had.
It's hard for me because I'm not listing a ton of jewelry where I have to worry about keywords. Most of my jewelry is on Whatnot, and I don't have to worry about keywords so much on there. On eBay, it really depends on the type of jewelry that you're selling. I recommend searching like a simple term and look at the highest sold and look at the keywords that they use and see if they're applicable to your piece. Because obviously there's a wide range of jewelry. An easy add-on keyword to any jewelry is going to be gift, like mom, Mother's Day, if you can't think of words to fill it in. I always put the color of the stone, whether it's silver tone, gold tone, if it's sterling silver, the length, just basics being in there are big. And I've seen a lot of people that don't put those. Like I'll see a brooch, but they don't say, is it 1 inch or is it 3 inches, which is a big difference and might stop somebody if they're looking for a bigger brooch. So I would make sure you have at least the basics in, the colors. And it's so different for every single piece of jewelry. He's going to get into stuff. Watch. He sees the bubble wrap. He's like, no, I'm just cleaning myself. I'm a good kitty. So yeah, that's how I look for mine. That's why I can't think of any. I look for the highest selling, but I might put like purple rhinestone brooch. And then I'm going to see and like the style. So if it's Art Deco, if it's Victorian, if it's mid-century modern, that's why I'm saying there's no like one size fits all for jewelry, if that makes sense, I think. All right. Eve says, what is your opinion on sourcing from estate sales? I asked because I recently got burned in shipping way too high. So when she says that, it makes me think of online estate sales.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to kind of inject that. But she said overall, she does pretty well buying estate.
Online estate sale purchases, not me. But estate sales in person, I love them. Especially on the last day. They're going on for several days. Which I've been learning this recently because I haven't been attending estate sales like that. But even garage sales, I asked these people like, how often do you do this? When does this happen? With the estate sales, usually they're run by individuals, companies, and they'll give you the info and you get a newsletter. But I like to tend to ask for their actual number and say what I'm looking for. And usually they reach out to you because they're trying to sell this stuff too. But when it's estate sales in person locally, are more than a day, they're usually discounted on the second day. And those are the days I'd rather chance to save more, even if the so-called better things are going to be sold. For example, I was in Twin Falls, Idaho. There was a so-called 2-day estate sale. It was actually 3. They didn't announce that it started on Thursday. I ended up going back my first day was the second day. When I went back on a Thursday, I was curious to see what I would find and kind of got some things, costume jewelry, to see if it was worth going back again. And it was. I ended up finding a 14 karat gold little Mickey Mouse that Kevin Commonwealth Pickers inside the chat. He has an auction going to go on at the 30th of this month to help benefit those profits are going towards St. Jude. I ended up donating it to
Oh,
him
I'm so glad
for
you
that.
said that.
And I did it on purpose. So I'm glad, or hope that he's still here. So yeah, check it out on Whatnot. He has some amazing things going towards a good cause. But it just shows that sometimes when people say if you're not first, you're last, so many people went inside there to the estate so these 3 days, and I still found literally gold and several silver pieces that I purchased for a buck or two for bags of jewelry. So I banked out good, and also am able to give to other things that are going to help people even more than me just make a few bucks off of things.
Yes, I've only been to in this area. I've only found 2 estate sales online. I don't do online. Um, the 2 estate sales wasn't run by a company; it was individual done. But as far as buying there, I've made out really good at those estate sales also. So, but online, I don't know. I didn't even know they did online estate sales.
So that's the only way I source is online estate sales. I will tell you, when you say shipping is high, I expect shipping to be high. In the last month, my last bill for shipping was $170. The one before that was $350, and the one before that was $670 for shipping. But that was 300 pounds of jewelry. So I'm not even paying 50 cents a pound of jewelry and shipping. So when you buy bulk, you need to be careful what you buy. And if you're buying something heavy, jewelry is heavy, but it's a lot of jewelry, right? So that's only 50 cents a pound. Realistically, there are at least 4 to 8 pieces per pound of jewelry. So I'm not even 10 cents in per piece on shipping, right? So getting burnt by shipping, it costs a lot to ship. And the more you buy, the more it's going to cost to ship. So if you want to source those, I would say look for really high profit stuff. Like you've got $300 in profit. So if they charge you $50 in shipping, it's whatever. Or a lot of items like linens, my Harley pins, there were 600 pins, another one that was expensive in shipping. But when I divide it by the item, it's negligible. So just remember that. So Sonny said about Kevin doing his auction. Kevin, I've been sick and had a hurricane, and I have not sent anything in for that. But I am not feeling up to going to the reseller rally, guys, and I'm going to give away my 2 tickets right now.
What?
So,
Oh, speaking about that, he actually has like 10 tickets left too. So if anyone needs tickets, they had a couple cancellations. Yeah.
So we're going to give away. Here's the deal, guys.
Kevin right now.
It's the 30th, right? Is it the 30th? Can somebody confirm the date for me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the 30th.
St. Jude, yes. I just put the link inside the chat too.
Do not enter this giveaway if you cannot get to Cincinnati, Ohio in 2 weeks. Do not enter this, guys. I do not want these tickets going to waste. I'm going to give away 2. All I ask is if you win and you don't have a friend or a spouse, tell me and let me give the other one away. Okay? That's all I'm asking. So whoever wins, it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. They are doing a riverboat cruise. I went to the last one. It is absolutely amazing. With being sick and a hurricane, I'm just not feeling up to it, guys. I'm not feeling up to going. So let me get it pulled up. I'll also give away some poly mailers and some tape. Joel is going to give away tape because we asked him to, and he's amazing. So let's see. Let me pull it up. I was not prepared, but Sonny said that and reminded me. I'm glad he did. I don't want to wait till it's any closer to the event. So I'm going to share this. Let's do this now. We're going to do not enter this if you cannot go to Cincinnati. I'm going to say it over and over and over.
I got the point, Kat. I'm not going to try to win it.
Okay. I mean, maybe you can go. All right. Hashtag reseller rally, guys. 2 tickets. The tickets are non-transferable. Luckily, Kevin, Commonwealth picker, and John, Cincinnati picker, were nice enough to tell me I could give them away. So hashtag reseller rally. If you can go, they cannot be transferred. You cannot sell them.
Come see me live.
You have to go yourself. Can't be transferred. They technically can't be transferred at all, but they gave me permission to give them away. Let me add this. Let me quit hiding Chris down there in the bottom. So make sure, I know. Sonny, is your hair going to the rally?
No, we are one.
Sonny's hair won't be there, but Rod and his lack of hair will be there.
Why did she have to say that, Rod?
I have a mohawk for wrestling, okay?
Shot
I have
fired.
hair. It's just a work in progress.
So you still rock the mohawk then?
Listen, bro, you got to live the gimmick. Kayfabe is not dead. I don't care what anyone says. Check
All
the
right,
business.
anybody else? 2
I hope y'all
tickets,
enjoyed
but
the
if
heck
you
out of this.
win and you cannot go, or if you only are a single person, tell me so I can give away the second ticket. That is all I request. All right, we're going to pick a winner now. And whoever you are, you have to tell me right away if you want 1 or 2. Rocks to be me. You got it. So tell me in the chat, rocks to be me. Are there 2 of you or is there 1 of you? Because if there is only 1 of you, I will give away the other one. And you need to email me, thenurseflipper@yahoo.com. Tell me if you want 1 or 2. Dun, da, da, da. Biscuit Butt is on point tonight. Look at him. Only 1, guys. We're going to pick another winner. All right. Second ticket going. She only wanted 1. Thank you for letting me know that.
Thank you for being honest, too. I would have been both going by myself.
Okay. Vicky and Bill are like my neighbors, and I know they will go, but you guys have to buy your second ticket. Go buy it now. I am giving you 1, Vicky. Go and buy the second one. There are some cancellations, and there are available tickets. Go buy the second ticket now before they sell out.
I wish I could make this one.
Go buy your second ticket, Vicky. It is absolutely amazing, guys. It is on a riverboat. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. I just do not have the strength and energy in me to make a trip that far. All right, let's give away some tapes. Let's give away some of Joel's tape. We're going to give away a 6-pack of my go-to tape. So that's going to be the hashtag my go-to tape. Joel from American Bubble Boy gave us this to give away. So you will get a coupon for a 6-pack. Vicky, go buy your ticket. Hashtag my go-to tape. I think the tickets are $100 or so. $100.
125.
125. Really, really good deal. Hashtag my go-to tape, guys. 6, you'll get 6 rolls sent to you free, courtesy of Joel over at American Bubble Boy. And then we'll give away some free poly mailers from Giaro Pack.
Do they have designs on the polymailers?
Look, you haven't seen my cute. Look at my daisies.
Okay, those are cute, but they're not this for this season. They're out of season. Sorry, Kat.
Listen, it's always daisy season, buddy.
I get allergies from daisies, so no, thank you.
Not from these. They're hypoallergenic.
Daisies or daisies?
Listen, buddy. Is Kevin entering? Is Kevin trying to win some of Joel's tape?
Yeah, he's gonna auction it off.
Oh, Rocks to be me said she cannot go. Somebody just told me that. Vicky and Bill, did you buy your ticket? I hope not. I'll give you them both.
Wait, what?
Halt. I should text her. I have her number. Somebody said Rocks to Be Me said she cannot go. Hold on. Let me
Can
message
she confirm
Vicky.
that?
No,
Message
Mark
her.
messaged me. He saw her say it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone else did too in the chat.
Aww. Well,
Okay,
you
let me
should send her
message Vicky.
something for giving it away. I'll send her something. Email me your address. I'll send you a gift.
Sunny Las
For
Vegas
being so
at
kind.
what?
I'll send her a gift for giving it away.
Yeah, but where does she email you?
I'm about to put it inside here.
Good job, Sunny. I'm trying to message her so she doesn't go buy one. Vicky, don't buy one. Okay, we got 129 entries. 130. Let's pick a winner for the tape, and then we'll do some poly packs, poly mailers. You can pick the color and the size, and if they're padded or not. They will let you pick whatever they want from their website. Antique Bird Lady, you got the tape. Send me an email, thenurseflipper@yahoo.com. And let me know. Oh, I think Joel's going to give me a coupon. Okay, last thing, guys. We're going to give away two sets of poly mailers from GRO Pack. You can pick whatever you want off their website. They will let you pick. So if you win these, you need to pick what you want. Hashtag GRO Pack. Pick what you want and then email me what you want, the color, the size, and your mailing address. Hashtag GRO Pack, guys. Oh, she's keeping her granddaughter. Oh, she wants the tape. Okay, message me, email me, and I'll try and get you a tape. I'm going to write that. I'll try and get you a tape, Rocks to Be Me.
And email me. I'd like to send you a gift for being selfless.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sunny. Okay, Vicky did not buy one, so Vicky will get my 2 tickets. So that's
what did
good.
I do?
I don't know. What did you do?
I don't. You said my name randomly.
Because you're so nice.
Oh. Am I?
And I know Vicky and Bill are Vicky and Bill, so they really need to. So that works well.
That works. That's great.
You know, I just found the chat in this thing.
Oh, congratulations, Chris.
The comment section. Yeah.
Way to show up to the party, guy.
Yeah.
The purple polys, I don't know if you can see them. I have pink polys back there. I have blue ones. I have green ones. I have all kinds of them.
Do you have glow in the dark ones?
We should request that. I'm going to tell them we have a request for glow in the dark poly mailers. Right?
Do you have reflective ones in case the
Have you seen the
mailman is
thank you
delivering
bags?
them at night?
I have them.
With the handles?
Yeah, I have them. I'll
Yeah.
show them next week. I have them. I asked them to send me some to show. Yes,
Yeah,
they're
that's
just
what
in the
sent me.
laundry room.
They just sent me those. They sent me the daisy ones. Sent me the pink poly daisy bags. They have pink polys as well with daisies
Yeah,
on it.
I got some little tiny green ones for my jewelry. Guys, if you don't win, you do get 10% off anything you buy on GRO Pack with code the Nurse Flipper. And you get 5% off of my go-to tape with same code, the Nurse Flipper. Both of those, if you go buy, use my code, you can get it every single time. 5% off tape, 10% off polys. Let's go ahead. We're going to pick 2 winners. 154 entries. And you need to pick what you want and then email me what you want and your mailing address. Guitar Missy. Congratulations.
What's up, Guitar Missy?
Whoop, whoop. All right, let's pick another winner.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Who's it going to be?
Dun, 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 dun. Karen Keith.
Karen Keith.
Karen.
Sounds like
All right.
Chiefland the bio.
Now, I'm going to force all of you to watch the commercial for my lovely jewelry sale tomorrow because I can. Okay? Okay. Here you go. Here's my commercial I made just for you.
I guess.
All right, guys, little break-in commercial in the show. here's a preview. This is all high-end rhinestone jewelry that will be on my Whatnot tomorrow night. The moderators will drop in the chat now. If you're not signed up, you can get $15 for free using my link. And we have 100 pieces. 6 of these will be giveaways. So come and join me over on Whatnot Wednesday night tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now we'll get back to the show. Ta-da! My commercial. Made by yours truly.
Commercial.
Mark just dropped the link tomorrow, and then Friday is high dollar sterling silver. So Wednesday and Friday, and Thursday is my members only listing. So if you're not a member yet of my channel, we're doing listing reviews Thursday night. D. Smith wants to know, can anyone give me the name of a reseller in Crossville, Tennessee? I live in Montana. I'm coming home to Tennessee to close out a storage unit. Bridget, are you in the chat? Not Bridget. I don't think it's Bridget Vickers. Bridget is in Tennessee. I'm not sure how far from Crossville. If you email me, I have a friend that's in North Carolina, really close to Tennessee, that might be interested. Oh, Old School Picker, Chris. You can message him on Instagram, Old School Picker. Oh, she is here. Bridget is here. Aunt B. Bridget, how far are you from Crossville? Bridget is in Tennessee. Yeah, you like my commercial?
Oh, God.
Rod, don't die. We still hear you.
Oh, crap.
Better don't, Rod.
I turned the camera off, not my.
Like, please
my
don't
mic. I
die. We
apologize.
can't see you, but we can hear you dying. Don't do that.
Ugh.
I feel you.
My bad.
That was me last week. This week, I just feel like I'm going to puke. Okay.
Tap water.
Chris Sonny, send him some bottled Las Vegas water. Chris
You got
wants
it.
to know, can we explain ending and selling similar? Do you do that, Sonny?
Oh, sorry. I got caught up in the comments.
Sonny's not home right now.
I do sell similar. I don't notice a difference in it, but other people swear by so similar rather than relist. And I don't have a better answer for that other than my truth.
What'd you say?
So similar.
Yeah, but you just all you do is end the listings. It just refreshes your listing. So you just choose to end the listings and then you sell similar.
So I would add to this. Do you keep it the same with the photos? Do y'all make any changes?
I do, because I don't have time. I recommend, if you have time, change the title up a little bit, maybe pick a different front picture, refresh your pictures if you weren't taking great pictures at that time. I do not do any of that.
What I do is, if it's the AI background, I switch to the AI background to get a nice quality photo, especially if it's like $15, $20 item or above. I'm not going to do it for something that's $5 or something like that, but I'll change up the picture and then just my first picture only, and then I'll lower the price because apparently I had it listed too high.
Yeah.
When I do it, I do end and sell similar, but I do a bulk. I usually try and do anywhere between 50 and 100 items when I do it. I don't do the whole store, but I will change the price. I will raise the price 1% when I do it, and then I let it go like that.
Yeah, I would say too is what I do is when I start my morning, I end my listings and sell similar. So I will get 5 or 10 listings done right away, just some old stuff, and just refresh it. So it's a good way to start your day, especially if you have a busy day and you can't, if you have stuff in the family or other stuff going on. It's a good way to just get some activity in your account.
They're going to give you CPR. You just need to
that.
That's all you need to say.
I love giving people mouth to mouth. I mean CPR to save them.
Oh, my gravy. Sorry, Carla. Okay. Charlene says if resellers profit over $600 during, so Charlene, it is $600 in the year. It is not your profit. It is your sales. It is legal that you report it. I will tell you, I pay an estimated quarterly tax because I sell 6 figures a year. So I do that. So my tax bill is not as horrible at the beginning of the year. But if you're a smaller or part-time seller, you just are going to have to pay taxes on that profit with your income tax. It is required by law. You report it. So I would suggest keeping track of your deductions, like your mileage, your receipts on how much you spend, and things like that. But it is the law, and it is in a year. It is not in 1 month, guys.
And
That
also,
is
too,
crazy.
don't get yourself in trouble by putting stuff in the chat here. It's always been like this. You're always supposed to
And I will
report
tell
every
you,
single sale, and
I
people
have
don't
a
do that.
friend. Yes.
Yeah, because
I
before
have
it was
a friend.
$20,000 and 200 transactions, eBay would send you a 1099. But you're responsible for
You're
your own business.
responsible regardless.
Yep.
My friend got charged back taxes and interest, and she was under the threshold. It is the internet. They can track every friggin' thing you're doing. If you think you're going to escape it, you're going to end up paying more in the long run, guys. It doesn't matter. You're there. You're going to pay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the shortest whatnot sale you would recommend for a first show? If I do it, I just want to get my feet wet, not do a long show.
That's a great question.
20. I started off with 30 items, and I thought that was too much for me at the time because nobody told me the shipping process. So I sold quite a bit of hats, and I created a box for every hat, not realizing that they bundled together to go in one box. So it took a couple of weeks for hats to sell, say like on eBay, for me to use these boxes that I already taped up. Like I had a crap load of them here in my office. So there's these little things when it comes to whatnot. Be comfortable in it. You do not have to show your face. Relax. Let people know that you're new. Step into other channels like Cats. Rod has been more active on it. I had one yesterday and I was rusty. Even though I've been very good at them before, I just felt rusty. And it does take some energy out of you. You will feel exhausted afterwards, but you learn the process through it. So ask questions from others who are going through it to help you, but you have to experience it yourself just to get better. And you will time and time again, just like reselling.
Yeah, whatnot. When I first started, I think it was back in 2021, I think. I did 20 DVDs just to get my feet wet. It was a quick show, but like you said, but the shipping was different then than it is now. My recommendation is if you're going to sell on whatnot, please make sure you read everything of how the shipping works because it is different. I even get confused with it sometimes now, the way they do it. So
I got
be
charged
careful with the shipping.
$125 for my bulk jewelry sale that I gave discounted shipping. I lost $125.
How
So
did
they
you
might
lose
not
it? And
discount it on mine anymore.
And
can you explain how you lost it so other people could be proactive towards not doing the same thing?
So the flat rates, which normally are up to 70 pounds, if they're over 5 pounds, whatnot charges you. And I was charged $66 for one buyer. I'm sure she knows who she is if she's watching. I was charged $35 for another. So really it was mainly 2 buyers and then a little bit on extra. But I am probably not going to do bulk jewelry sales altogether. I'll offer 1 or 2 bags per sale so that nobody can buy that many bags. Even though I appreciate all the purchases, it was like 40 pounds of jewelry that she got for me. And I ended up not making much on that because even if it's flat rate, if it's over 5 pounds, they charge you, and they charge you a lot. They charge me $66 on one order.
Wow.
So whatnot actually has a new shipping policy too, that you're allowed 5 shipping overages per week now. So if you actually go to your selling dashboard, it will show you like 1 to 5,
It'll
2 to
tell
5,
you
3
how
to 5.
many you have left.
Yeah.
But it told me I had 5 left and it charged me. And I think that's because I did the flat rate. I chose to do the flat rate.
Yeah.
So they didn't cover. I think if I had not chosen to do the flat rate and then I said it was 5 pounds and it was 40, they would have covered that for one of my 5.
I know something else they did. I discovered this on my last show. The 12 by 12 by 12 cubed box. I had someone purchase a bunch of items and they all wouldn't fit in that box. So you used to go in and separate the orders, and you could put them in different boxes and you do the shipping labels according to that. Now, when you separate those orders, they charge you for the shipping on those separate orders. So like they've already charged the customer the shipping rate for everything they've offered. But when you separate those orders and it won't fit in that 12 by 12 by 12 box, they're going to charge you an extra amount. Because I had a customer, I had to Frankenstein a box, and it was going to be 12 by 12 by 13, and they wanted to charge me another $8 or so. So it was, and it's really, you got to be really careful with shipping right now and whatnot.
I would say, going back to your original question here on Sonny hit the nail on the head. I think 30 items is legit for your first show. I wouldn't do any more, any less than that. I'd highly recommend starting your first maybe 2 or 3 auctions at 30 seconds, just so you get the hang of it. And then, because you're probably gonna have a low amount of people in there, maybe reduce it to 20 seconds or 15 seconds in between auctions to get things moving fast. Also, too, I would recommend you take a request, because you may only have 5 or 6 people in there, and you don't want to wait to item 29 if you're going in order, if you have 4 buyers in there that want items to 20 and 25. So, I mean, that's what I did when I originally started. It worked out really well. Also, too, go into other people's whatnots in your category. Write down what you like and you don't like what the sellers are doing. No one likes dead air. People are entering the chat. Welcome them to the chat. People are interactive. Ask questions. I'm doing a Disney one. Like, I have a Disney one tomorrow, and on Friday I'm doing pins. And when I go there, I ask them, hey, what's your favorite Disney movie? What's your favorite Disney character? It gets people interacting in the chat. People like to. You have to remember, Whatnot is a social media platform that resells. It's not a reselling platform with social media. It's reversed. People want to go there to be entertained. That's why people like ADH Dave gets a big crowd, because he's stupid. He's entertaining people. Sonny's in there entertaining people.
Sorry, Dave. I'll see Dave on Sunday. Dave and I are supposed to go scalloping this Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, Dave.
I love Dave.
So I agree. I think 30 or 40 would probably be good. Even 50. What I would suggest, and it's what I do, and I know you watch me, start with a giveaway so you can let those people come in. Run a giveaway. Don't start selling items right away, because you want to let people come into the chat. I ran 41 today in just like right at an hour. And that was a really nice short show. I didn't make a ton because they were lower dollar items, but it wasn't a lot of work. I agree with Rod. I would take requests. I did choice today. I don't do choice a lot. I laid out 4 items, let them pick which one they wanted. It went very well. I just had number stickers and I stuck the number on so I knew who won what. So I think 30 to 50, and I would say do a giveaway definitely in the beginning, so you can have something going on, while everybody's kind of filling into the show. Whatnot is exhausting. Whatnot is, I actually, like, I love no offense to Aunt Roberta or my daughter. I love running the shows by myself and doing like the choice. That was all me. I laid it out. There was no cataloging. I ran the whole show by myself. I don't have to pay anybody. That's the best part, right? But I like doing those too. So I'm going to be adding some of those in again, just to mix up what I'm doing and do, different things.
So since her first show's coming up, why don't we tell her some negatives to Whatnot, or maybe things that you maybe don't think about to really prepare for,
I mean, you talk about losing money all the time. I have a big following. I made no money the last 3 jewelry shows. 0. With 60 people in the chat. Having people in the chat doesn't mean that you're going to make money either, guys. So know that.
Also, too, to get rated, have an item ready to give away for free, because that's the biggest mistake I see people. Have something ready. Have something
followers only.
Yeah, followers only. Also, too, be careful doing a ton of items on there, because people don't tell you how difficult that shipping is. I sold 75 items my first Disney show. It took me 3 hours to package up 75 items. Even though it was like 34, 35.
Was it worth it, Rod? Was it worth it?
Yeah, I made $709 in an hour and a half. So
exactly.
Well, yeah.
You gotta work on that money.
Rachel owed Whatnot money after her first show.
Dude, I did that free show. I gave away 22 items. I owed Whatnot
Also, you would bring that
$98
up.
from that show, but it got me a couple hundred followers because I'm paying just like I would have had a brick and mortar, paying for my advertisement for my business.
Yeah,
Right.
and Mark put up the link to my video. I give a lot of do's and don'ts in there. Rachel Strickland is a great one to watch for Whatnot as well.
She has a lot of videos on Whatnot.
Yeah, she does. So we answered that one. So is anybody besides me ending and selling similar and using lists perfectly?
Yeah, and then so similar. That's pretty much what I do.
But do you update the item in the LP catalog?
No.
I don't either, and yes, it does mess it up, guys. It does mess it up. But if you search by the title and you're not ending and renewing on the other platforms, it'll sell on eBay, so it'll be ended, and you'll search by the title on LP to end the others. Rod, are you updating your LP if you're ending and selling similar?
I'm not at that point yet. So when I'm ending all mine right now, I'm actually getting my old inventory into LP. So I'm doing 10, 15, 20 a day. So it'll be about 2 or 3 months before I would start ending and then have to update my list perfectly.
Yeah, I don't update the numbers. I just don't feel like it would be worth the time. And I search by the title, so I still find it to end it on the other platforms. But if you end on Mercari and Posh, it will mess it up. You will not find them. You will have to search on the platforms themselves if you've relisted them. So just beware of that. Rosie said she recently obtained a lot of children's books. Her goal is to bundle them to increase the average sales price. So what suggestions do you have on bundling? I think you could use this in general. And then if you have sold children's books, do you have any general tips for that? In the chat, too, if you guys can help her.
I have a quick question for that. Are they little golden books?
So hopefully, Rosie, if you're still here, tell us if they're little golden books or not.
I've never really done any bundling other than on Whatnot. And these are small items like little costume jewelry, lightweight items.
If they're little golden books, those are the ones I picked. Okay, they are not golden books. I don't know if they're not golden books because I picked the golden books up and we do sell them in bundles, usually about 5 per bundle. But the other ones, I try to steer away from the other ones because it's the golden ones that really sell real well.
Yeah, for me, books are my bread and butter, especially around 11 to 1 at garage sales because everyone passes them up. They're always going to be there. And what I like to do is buy children's. I buy runs, like Disney runs, what's the one with the Captain Underpants, like that one. A couple, anything that comes, especially hardback ones, and you get multiples of those. Goosebumps do really well. So if you guys find any of those, lot them up. They sell really well on eBay.
Yeah, I would suggest bundling them in categories for buying, because I'm buying for a small child right now. Because Dalton's learning to read, he's in kindergarten. For him, I'm trying to find sight words, so books that have a lot of in, and, that, the more common words. That's what we're working on right now. But if you put genre, if they were all about construction or monster trucks or bugs, I would bundle them into a certain topic is what I would suggest on that. Because somebody Dalton likes bugs, so I just search bug book. I'm let me find, I have no title or author in mind. So if I saw a lot of bug books, I would be likely to buy them because that's what he's interested in. So that is what I would suggest. Jessica has been a member for 5 months. And so on the monthly anniversary, you get special little messages. And she said she's sending positivity today to everyone that is having slow sales lately. Keep listing. It works. Hers finally took off overnight. And she said we have great guests tonight. So Miss Jessica, thank you. And then we got a $6.99 super chat from the Shabby Vintage Belle. And she won a giveaway brooch on one of my Whatnot shows. I give away 6 things a show. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to give you Yvonne's Mermaids. I'm in a mermaid mood. Here you go. Susan just saw on one of her listings, there's an extra charge to list on eBay UK. Do you choose that option when you're listing?
You know, I'm having an issue right now with somebody from Australia, and I'm not able to figure out why they're not able to see the shipping for them. It's weird how the potential customers could see information on their end, but us not on our end if somebody's asking a question like this to better understand that. So I'm waiting on eBay to reply back to me.
I have not come across that problem yet.
It sounds like an eBay glitch. I would contact eBay customer support, or I would make sure that you're enrolled in the international shipping program. Because if you're enrolled in the international shipping program,
the charge is because so we list all on eBay US and then we offer international shipping. But if eBay UK has an actual site, so if you want to list on there, then I think you do incur a fee. I think eBay Australia and eBay Canada have sites as well. But if you list it with just international shipping available, there's not a fee. So you shouldn't have to list it on the eBay UK site. That sounds like a glitch. Like if they offered it, I know you can choose to do that, but I don't think it's like an easy thing. So I agree with Rod. It very, very might well be like a glitch. Laura wants to know if you run an auction on eBay, do you pay to promote it?
I do. Depending on how long I've had items on, if they've been very long, over like 3 months, I'll do like a 25 or 30% discount, along with say a 2% ad rate on there.
But no, she's saying if you run an auction though, like if you put an item up on auction.
Sorry, I do not do auctions. I need to, but I have not done auctions.
I do auctions, but I don't. I do promote in certain situations. It's if I think the item is going to be on auction for more than one term. When I say a term, it's either 7 to 10 days. I usually try to promote it on the second go around. And then that depends on how much, because sometimes auctions can be promoted by $2.49 and sometimes lower, sometimes higher. So it just depends on what the cost is. But that's how I usually run mine.
Yeah, for me, I'm not promoting my auctions. I run very few auctions, and at that point in time, I just want things to move. I don't care what they go for, to be honest.
So I do promote most of my auctions because I put up mostly high dollar, like high dollar jewelry, and I want to get it up there and seen. And like Chris said, normally it's only like $1.99 or $2.99, and for a $500 piece, if that's going to get me more views, I will pay it. And it's not a percent on auctions; it's just that one flat fee of like $1.99 or $2.99. It depends on your starting price. The item may not be allowed to be purchased, an authentication issue. I had an issue with shoes the other day.
Yeah, for the England one, where they're trying to ship to the UK, that might be that, because you're restricted on certain areas you can sell stuff and can't sell stuff with that.
Is that like the makeup brands and stuff like that?
Well, no, that's completely different. That's the Vero for those makeups.
Okay.
Like if you buy shoes, purses, watches that get sent to New York, go through an authentication program, and then eBay ships it to you once it passes to your buyer. So they won't do it international.
Okay. Brianna wants to know, how time consuming do you feel it is to build a good inventory? Do you feel like it's better to just pick up a few things here and there and build it slowly? Or do you think you should do, I would say, these questions are hard because they're super individualized, and it really depends on how fast you want to make money, I would say. Sonny, what do you say?
Start small, build good habits of learning what things are actually selling for and not just listed. Understand the shipping that's going to be involved in it. First class, well, now it's ground and priority. But again, that's why we're here. So even after the show, ask any one of us questions or people you feel comfortable with, ask them. Say, hey, I have this. And don't feel silly about it. For the longest time, I've shared this story. I used to go to the post office selling on eBay since 2017, right? No, earlier than that, 16. I was waiting in line at the post offices, waiting to get labels made, writing everything down, not realizing I could print it on eBay until I finally asked somebody, and I felt like an idiot. And I did that to myself rather than just asking people on social media that are doing this already, that are asking for people to ask them questions. It's a lot easier to connect with people or talk to people that are asking you to talk to them rather than people who aren't asking you and they never reply to you. Not that they won't. I'm just hypothetically. So ask questions. This is more than just on Tuesdays. This goes on 24/7. When we forget you, we will. And we're usually all pretty prompt at communicating with one another.
Yeah, when I first started, I went hog wild. I'm not gonna lie. I just bought anything and everything that I thought would sell immediately, or however. I didn't know anything about sell through rates or anything. As time proceeded, I learned that was a huge mistake. If I had to do all over again, yes, I would investigate the items more than what I would investigate the items more, look at sell through rates more, and I would just gradually grow. I mean, that to me, that seems like the best way. I mean, because I made a mistake in the beginning, but just buying everything, and I had so much, and it just a lot of it wouldn't sell. I mean, I've had to get rid of a lot of stuff that redonated it because it wouldn't sell.
So this may offend some people when I say this. So
I'm
let's
offended.
let this disclaimer here.
I am offended right now.
We are not
Yeah.
hoarders. We are resellers. So it doesn't matter about building a good inventory. You want to build items that have a fast sell-through rate. So, for example, I know sellers that have 300 items listed are selling 300 items in those 90 days. That's a great sell-through rate. If you have, if you're selling 20 items and you have 2,000 listed, you have a problem. You have a hoarding problem. And I'll be the first to admit it. I was there too because I thought that I want to build this big, massive warehouse with all my items, and now I'm paying for storage at this warehouse. I have storage at my house. I have storage all over the place, and it's not a good business model. Excuse me. So I learned the hard way in that. That's why I'm readjusting my business, pivoting, as we always say. But you want to focus on fast-selling items. So when you first start out, learn the sell-through rate and have a very low buy cost. If you get a low buy cost, you can sell stuff at 50% on the dollar because you only need it for 10 or 20 cents. Per dollar. So that's the biggest thing you want to focus on because your good inventory will build if you source correctly and find good selling items and items have a fast sell-through rate.
Right. That's what I was going to say. If you can find a lot of good items fast, by all means, get them. But you need to know, like Rod said, the sell-through rate, know that they will sell when you are buying them. And do not spend too much money on them. Do not spend too much money. Yes, I know that's here too. We have a museum. I should start charging admission. There are 3 separate sections to the museum. I could show you all kinds of things. Yeah, we can have a nurse flipper museum. Pig like stalked across the back of me. Linda says, if you had items for over 2 years, what do you do with them? Do you drop to half price? So if you've had it 2 years, what are you going to do?
This is a great question. I seen it way earlier, and I said this earlier. I am gonna start doing auctions. I'm gonna start moving things around. I used to believe in what I does work, and it did up until a point to where it's actually prevented me from moving along smoother and faster. And some of these items are gonna go for auction if they don't do well, and or go to places that people could use them rather than just going back to another thrift store. So I'm tending to put a lot of people first. I'm big on community, like I talk about often, and rather than it just being reselling content, I wanted people to be inspired, encouraged to seek out foundations that need real help because they're going through some stuff.
So what I do is the first thing I do is I start a whatnot show. I try to sell it for $1 and just try and move it out. That's the first thing I try and do. After that, if it doesn't sell on whatnot within a week, then I will take it to, like before, I was taking it to a flea market and I was setting up a table. And like Rod said earlier, start you a yard sale. But if it doesn't sell, I mean, if you do those things, a yard sale, sell them cheap. I mean, you're trying to get rid of it. Sometimes you're going to lose money. Sometimes you're going to break even. Just get rid of it. I mean, if it's that old and it's stale and it's taking up room, do whatever you can to get rid of it. If you can't make $1 on it, then donate it back to the thrift store. That's what I do.
I mean, if an item's sitting in your store for 2 years, either A, you have it listed too high, B, it's you have an item that no one wants. It's probably something you're not going to be sourcing again in the future because it's a long tail item. It's okay to just dispose that item. If you depending on what you have invested into it, if you think you can make some good money off it, then relist it and cut the price down. Like you said, take it to a flea market, have a yard sale, move those items. I can't preach this enough. When I loaded up the back of my truck, I put 2 totes on there and 2 garbage bags. And I took that to the thrift store. I felt a relief, like a weight lifted off my shoulders, because it was items I was never going to list. I bought big lots, and there's items I didn't want to test. They're projects, not profits. So at that point in time, I wanted to move the items, and I got rid of them. They weren't items I would want to give to another reseller, and have them deal with my issues. But I was able to donate them and move on. So it's okay to do that. I think that's the biggest thing that we all need to take away from this conversation is it's okay to walk away from an item.
Okay, there's a C to that, and that is that the right buyer has not found your item. There are rare long tail items that take years to sell. Not all the time, but there is. I'm not going to take an item worth $500 because it's been listed 2 years and throw it out. There's no way in hell. But
I agree with you.
It might be the only one listed, and I need that right buyer. Capa di Monte, I think 1.5 years, $3,000 sale. George says it all the time. George gets stuff that takes years to sell. But there's a difference in that rare item, or is it something that's just crap and not worth the money? So
yeah.
There are different things, but
No, I agree with you. No, but I agree with you 100%. And I think it comes down to what you're selling. If you're in everything selling, you're just getting clothes and other stuff, walk away. But if you're dealing with high-end antiques, high-end collectibles, that's a different ballgame. So there's exceptions to every rule. And Kat just hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
Like my tie, I should throw the dang thing away. I should throw it away. That fly fishing in Canada book, like what the heck? Probably the same thing. But for me,
or whatnot.
I'm going to let them sit there. I have space. I have storage. I don't pay for a storage unit. I listed it. I'm going to let the friggin' thing sit. If I'm running out of room, then I would consider that. But I'm not. I have plenty of room. So I'm not going to do that. Fun Junk Stuff sent us a $10 super chat and said, thank you, Kat and Rod. Weekly podcast is invaluable to newer reseller like me. I learn so much every week. Big thanks. You're very, very welcome. Here is your dolphin. Super chat. Rod, I love you. Go to bed. I got it, dude. Go to bed. We can't hear you. You're muted. We can't hear anything you're saying.
I said, I'm finishing the finish line here, right? I made it this far.
Like me?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going through. I'm finishing this race. Never give up. So,
listen, I was on here last year with COVID, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. Okay, you be hard. I was giving you an out. How much should a person list selling in the beginning? What would you recommend if they're a new seller? And I think, again, this goes to like what your goals are as well.
I started selling what I was comfortable with, and that were brands that I liked. And they were mainly t-shirts. For the longest time, nearly 1.5 years, I was struggling to buy anything over $2. That was cheap back then. Now it's like $4 here in Las Vegas for a t-shirt with no sleeves or half a sleeve and looks like a crop top. So I started to learn with the experiences of learning what to buy and what not to buy is following my gut and just doing these little things that help me understand why people are buying these, why I should get it, why I should not. Ask yourself, would you buy it if you bought something, and why? Right. And if you bought it for a price, what is a reasonable price? And ask yourself these questions and be real with yourself. You know more than what you realize. when I started reselling years ago, I was thinking I've known nothing, but as I realized I had time to just venture out and look at things, I started realizing I knew about purses because I would window shop with my wife and my mother-in-law, and I started looking at linen, and I knew about it because used to sew quilts with my grandma, and I started picking up like, hey, I know more than what I know, and you do too. You just have to relax, enjoy the process, and learn as you go because each experience is a new one. Even when you don't go thrifting, say you make it a point that you have to buy something, don't do that. If it's not worth doing it, don't do it because the big value that's going to come from it is the experience and knowledge that you learn from things that you learn not to get because maybe it was damaged. But if it wasn't, you would have got it. So there's these little things you're going to learn from. You have to trust yourself and just learn as you grow.
Yeah, I agree with everything he says. And he pretty much covered everything. Just like me, like I said before, when I first started, I bought everything I can get my hands on that I thought would sell, and that was wrong. So, as far as how much should a person list selling in the beginning, I would just list what you're comfortable with, what you can handle, what you have storage for. Uh, in the beginning, that's what I would do now. If I did it all again, I would completely, knowing what I know now, I would completely just not buy everything. I would just list what I was comfortable with and made sure I had storage for it.
I think for me, if I was just starting out, I would list absolutely everything I possibly can. The reason for that is that a brand new seller on eBay is going to restrict how many items you can actually list. It might be 10, might be 20, might be 50, 100. You want to make sure you get sales on your belt so you get some feedback. Also, you want to make sure that once you get those sales, you can actually reach out to eBay once those transactions are complete to expand what you can actually list on eBay. I also recommend that you go on eBay, buy 10 items from 10 different sellers that are like $1 a piece. That way you get the feedback from those sellers. And that way you're starting out with that with zero, scaring off a lot of people thinking that's a scam account. When you're in double digits, people have a lot more ease buying from you.
Yeah. I agree with Rod. See what your limit is, list what you can, but check the sell through. Don't just list anything. You want to have fast selling items to make those sales fast, not put up all long tail items and then you're not going to get any sales in the beginning. Thank you, dealer. Sent a $20 super chat and said, thank you for all your hard work and great info. If we all spend as much time listing as we do trying to figure it out, we would be in a better spot. That is right. So list. Thank you so much. Here is, let's do the beach dolphin. Here you go. The child in the water. All right. Vicky wants to know, why do buyers not leave feedback? It irks me. I always leave feedback and give them a deal, but they don't leave any feedback. So I quit leaving feedback unless I receive it.
I purposely do not do this. I am just so busy. I've been dealing with the loss in the family, so that stuff's not important to me. At the time when I'm able to catch up on things, I do. But I also get people who comment or message me on eBay saying, "Hey, I left a positive review. Can you leave one back?" I make sure first of all that they didn't leave a negative review and things actually worked out, and leave a genuine comment, as much characters that I can within eBay. And I do my best to sit down at least every few weeks to catch up on these things, which is going to be coming up soon. So it's all, you just never know what people are going through and things like that. You made a sale, you got your profits. They didn't leave you a negative feedback, even better, right? So on your end, if you're growing a channel, I would reach out and do your part to say, hey, not that you need this from them, but to reach out like the people have done to me and say, I left a review. Would you be so kind to leave one back?
Now, I used to do the same thing. I used to just leave feedback for those that left positive feedback for me. But recently, with the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've started just after the item's been delivered, within 3 days of that item been delivered, I usually send a positive feedback. And I've noticed by doing that the person I send the positive feedback to will respond with another positive feedback. And the reason I wait 3 days, up to 3 days, is because it gives them an opportunity to either complain about the item or send it back. So you want to cover both ends of that.
I'm all about having awesome customer service. As soon as you buy an item from me, you get instant feedback because I have automated feedback on. Stop wasting time going in there, leaving feedback for all your customers. If you start selling hundreds of items a month, you're going to waste a lot of time. That's time you could be listing.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, instead of automatic feedback, you can actually preset the different feedbacks. And as soon as they do it, boom, there's a link for it.
Guys.
It's going to be a game changer for you. You will actually get more feedback by doing that because people are seeing it right away. I bought it. Wow, they already left me feedback 30 seconds later.
All right, you're not going to like what I have to say. And I'm one of the buyers. I don't leave feedback. If you don't hear from me, you're good. I don't have time for that. That's the bottom line. The last 30 purchases on eBay, I've not left one feedback. I don't have time. Amazon messages me every friggin' thing I buy, which is way too much, and it annoys the out of me.
Beep. Oh,
Do not hear.
Where'd the ship go? Ship?
Okay.
Down the river.
So here, where did it go? Where did it go? It said never, here, Miss Lynn, never beg for feedback. If you don't hear from them, they're happy. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Like, that's what I have to say. I don't, like, I'm one of the people that irk you, I guess, but I don't have time for it. And people that message me, I'm really not going to leave it because you're bugging me. And I don't have time. Yeah. So that's like, I'm 100% honest with you guys that I don't have time. I buy a ton of stuff. I don't have time. And if I don't hear from them, I'm happy because they're not pissed off at me. Okay, bye. See you later.
Do what works for you. Do what you believe.
But there's situations where I understand why a seller would want that, because if you just got a negative and there's no way you can save that, and you're brand new and you're under you're at 96%, yeah, that hurts. Go on eBay, find big sellers, go in the cards, find people that have 10,000 positive feedback, buy from them. Because
buy my $2 tie. I'll leave you automatic feedback. I guarantee you.
So you buy
it and leave you negative feedback before it even gets delivered.
But you can only do it one per seller. Remember that. You have to do multiple sellers to get the actual number to be added to your end of your number.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, guys, I don't leave it. I just, I don't have time. And that's, if you don't hear from me, I'm happy. And I think I've left negative feedback for a seller one time in my 20-year eBay history. So it would take a lot to let me do that. I don't look at my feedback except to see if I have negative feedback or not. And my last negative got removed. I'm at 100%. I ship on time. I do what I'm supposed to. I do automated feedback. I do sell hundreds of items a month. I don't have time to go and do that. I agree it's nice, but I also agree that's time you could spend listing.
This makes me want to ask the chat.
Business model.
For the chat.
Just like I don't put pink frilly paper all over your stuff either. I'm going to put 20 layers of bubble wrap. You're going to get enough bubble wrap to pack 5 more things. But yeah.
For those in the chat, how many reviews have you left for feedback? A number, guesstimated number. Miss Betty, if you could.
She's behind, Sonny. She'll see us now in an hour. She's behind. It's okay. She's behind. It's okay. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm sure a lot of people don't like that, but I'm being honest, guys. Jacqueline, I don't think any of us can answer this. We get this a lot. If you guys want to give thoughts of what you think it could be, she has a lot of likes and watchers and no sales.
Yep.
What do you think it could be?
I feel like majority of the watchers when things are sitting are other resellers, but I have no proof of that.
Could be item price too high, maybe, and they're waiting on the discounted price to come in.
So 1 is your item's too high. 2, you may have an error with your shipping costs. 3, you may have an item that has a really crappy sell-through rate. Or 4, if your item is on eBay over 90 days, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. So you need to end that listing, sell similar, and get it back on eBay because it goes through a 90-day cycle.
If pink paper makes you happy, put all the pink paper you want. And if you want to handwrite a handwritten note on every single one, do it. Guys, it's not the same for everybody. I'm not saying my way is the only way. Like Sonny likes writing the feedback. If that's what you like, do it. Do it. But do what works for you. Like, do what works for you. Do what you have time for. But if you're not listing enough and you're leaving feedback, then it is what it is. LaDawn sent $5 because she leaves buyers alone too. Like, leave it. Like, you're good. You're good.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. All right, I'm gonna give her a pillow fight. Here you go, LaDawn. Thank you so much. Guys, the nice thing about these panels is you're getting all different answers because we all run our business different. So take what you like from whoever you like and leave what you don't like from who you don't like. Put together your own business model, guys. Everything that one person does is not going to work for any other person. You've got to put together your own way of doing things. Take pieces.
So what you're saying is read between the lines. Don't listen to Sonny. Got it.
I can't read.
Sonny can't. Sonny, I don't care what you buy from me next time. I don't care what it is. It is going
double bag it.
Double. I'll put Daisy poly mailers in it.
He's gonna double bag
of Daisy mailers, but nothing else.
Buy something from
you
you.
Better bubble wrap those poly mailers.
I will send you Daisy poly mailers to ship it to Sonny. Okay. Yes, definitely see me. Here, this came up on it. It is okay to ask them if you want. Yes, if you want feedback, it is okay to ask them.
I said that.
But nicely, if I bought something from you, I will probably not answer you. But it is okay. It is okay. And you can use the little please leave feedback cards too. Some people pay attention to them. I do not.
You know, speaking of feedback, what I don't like about feedback is I sold an item that was brand new. It was an NCAA bib. And the person got it and they left me negative feedback saying it was made of poor quality. Well, I have no control over how the item's made. And I've actually challenged that and contacted eBay on it. And there was nothing they said they could do because it met their policy because of the item. So that's hurt that's crazy to me.
Yeah, there's some that falls through the crack.
That's where they say it's opinion. Kat does answer her messages, guys. I will answer your question. Yeah, see, if you buy stuff for me, you get like way too much packaging. I had somebody complain I used too much bubble wrap. I'm sorry I over bubble wrapped your fragile item. I apologize. And no, I'm not kidding. They like yelled at me in messages because I sent them too much bubble wrap.
Those people are the worst.
Rosie wants to know, would you send a refund without a return if the if the buyer sends photo of the damage and she's asking if you are responsible for the damage that is incurred during shipping?
Insurance.
Good luck.
I'd rather do that first. Let that go through. They could message you, but they still have to report it that there's something wrong with the item. You still have to go through these steps. Ask for photos, do what you can. Some post offices, I used to work for USPS, some post offices will allow the customer to bring in the item, they'll refund them. Sometimes I could do it on my end if I send the photos and screenshots after eBay has taken care of their issues, because they will have nothing to do with the USPS process afterwards. So it's different a little different for some people, but I usually do it on my own when something's damaged. So not until that's resolved on eBay's end where I'm covered, then yeah, I'll refund them.
I had an instance when that happened to me twice actually. Um, the first thing was an undercounted can opener. I shipped it out, and it was damaged in shipping. The buyer did send me photos and everything, and I did refund them the money, but they did return the item also. I paid for the shipping on that. As far as the insurance goes, I did take it to the post office, but for some reason, the problem was that the customer did not take it to the post office first. So therefore, there was a flaw in their policy, and I didn't. Of course, the insurance didn't cover me for that item, and it happened to be twice on two separate items. So my advice is to let the customer know that they need to take it to the post office so the insurance can be filed through them. And also, if they're sending you pictures, I don't mind refunding them if they send you pictures. If they don't send pictures, they're going to send the item back before I refund them, because I don't know if they're scamming me or not.
So if everything has to go through eBay, tell your buyer to open a claim through eBay. They will automatically have to return the item. If they do not return the item, you do not have to pay it out. Number one. Number two, if a buyer refuses, and you have insurance on this item, the buyer refuses to cooperate on there, make sure you do it through Messenger. eBay can track that entire message. You can call eBay. They will personally refund you the money majority of the time for that item because the buyer is not cooperating with you, following the proper process. They're seeing that you're sitting there taking the steps to get things worked out. Okay, so those are two big items there. Depending what the item is, though, if the item is like a TV or like something like that, sometimes I might just bite the bullet and just it's not worth it because I paid $5 for the item. I'll just say, you're sending me the item that has the model number, send me a picture of the model number in the back. That's why it's so important. If you're selling electronics, you always take a picture of the serial number in your listing. If you're selling video games, always take a picture of the disc, the bottom part of the disc, so they can't say it's scratched. I had a buyer return a disc. He swapped it out, and there's the scratches didn't match up. eBay sided with me, So there's ways to work around that. But you're gonna get scammed one way or another. It's just part of the business. If you're worried about every people scamming you and doing stuff, you're gonna lose sleep over it. I probably entire time I've been selling on eBay for 20 plus years, I probably run into maybe kind of one hand the amount of scammers I've run into that have escalated and gone into a different route. So,
all right, I'm gonna say something different than everybody else. Oh, why am I echoing?
Because you're too much.
I'm definitely too much tonight. Thank you, Sonny. So if the item is damaged in shipping and the box shows no sign of damage, like the box is not kicked in, the postal service hasn't abused it, then yes, you are responsible. You did not pack your item good enough. And the postal service is not going to approve a claim with a perfect box. If they didn't crush your box or damage it or visibly do some kind of damage to it, it is your responsibility. So, and I put it in the chat, since COVID, claims are virtually impossible. I had a buyer have to go to 5 different post offices. They still wouldn't process it. They wanted all the shipping material, the item, the box. Realistically, I don't think it's fair to ask your buyer to do that. So if they send me a picture and I can see that, yes, like I screwed up, some of the stuff that's been happening, like whatnot, my daughter will put glass in with other jewelry and it is cracked. That's my bad, not the post office. So if they send me a picture and it got cracked in shipping and I know that it was my fault, then I'm going to give them, I'll offer them, if a tiny piece chipped off, I'll offer them a certain amount. If I have any inkling they are trying to scam me, then yes, they are sending the item back. So there's 2 different things. If you don't do a bunch of breakables, then it's not really an issue because there's not much damage to occur. But if there is damage and I feel like I'm responsible, I'm not going to make them file a claim. I will offer them a refund because I would rather a partial refund than a whole one. But if I feel like they're trying to scam me, like somebody just did now, they just opened a return, they are sending it back, then I will make them send it back. And we are way over our time. Brad is in here sitting 2 feet from me, but you cannot see him. He likes to drag me in when it's after 10. See, you can hear him. He's real.
What's up, Brad?
He's like right there. Sonny's only 280 away from 3K. So if 280 of you have not subscribed, please do it. I'm gonna let Sonny and Chris tell you goodbye. Let poor Rod go because I feel like a miserable person right now. Brad says I am a miserable
Hope you get
person.
feeling better, Rob.
Thank you.
Okay, Sonny, tell these people they need to subscribe to you.
Y'all need to subscribe to me. If you don't like my content, don't follow it. But I love being a part of the community that I associate with and the people in it. It has helped me grow to become a much better person. Reselling has changed my life, especially going full time to make appointments for therapy, going through PTSD, pain of sciatica and arthritis. I'm not the only one going through stuff, and I needed to make a change. And this freedom of even working longer has given me just the self empowerment of taking care of me, which and goes along with being a family man and wanting to grow a family. So the things that I do matter to me, and your goals are different, but we're all in one direction, just trying to improve as a person. And along the way, you're going to inspire other people. So share your story when you can, make as much sales as possible, but learn from it and pass it on to others to help them get through some things themselves.
Sonny, they want to know if you're doing a live tonight.
A live YouTube? No, I'm not. But I do have a second channel, the Sunny Las Vegas, where I am doing lives in the morning, talking about topics. Today was one about hoarding, and I mentioned that earlier that I'm pretty much a hoarder based off of these boxes that I've checked on doing some research, and I'm trying to share the information that may not be popular. They're not the funnest, but they're topics that people should be aware of to be proactive, to not get caught up in clutter, sanitary things, and everybody's different. So I'm trying to bring up topics, and eventually I'll start introducing people to join me in the mornings and see how they relate to it, other than coming up with topics that have nothing to do with me. These are things I could relate to, and I was surprised how much people came in this morning and could relate and said that they are glad that this topic was brought up. So I think it's good that other people get involved to share what their thoughts would be, because our minds are different, our experiences are different. So the more people could talk about things to help benefit them, it's going to make a bigger impact, whether they tell you or not. Because a lot of people are silent watchers, lurkers, which I also value and take pride in, because it's information that's being shared, whether you know it or not, like I said. But yeah, give me a follow if you like some of the things I'm talking about, because this is who I am. I'm very open, but I'm also private with things that don't need to be shared.
Perfect. Here is Chris. It's the Sunny Las Vegas, Sonny?
Yes.
The Sunny?
Yes.
Okay, the Sunny Las
I'll
Vegas.
get it in right now.
Okay, Sonny's linking it. Here's Chris.
But I would like to ask y'all to subscribe to my channel also. Since we've been sitting here, I'm up to 300 and something.
Yes.
My channel, I do right now I'm doing an unboxing series. Like I moved 6 months ago and I boxed my old death pile up, and it's in the loft up here. So whenever I bring a box down, I do an unboxing video. And then when I get it listed, I do the next one. I also have a playlist. It's called Speak My Mind. I'm kind of like Kat. I got some pet peeves, and I'll speak my mind on it. The most important thing that I want to tell everyone is to stay positive. This is a tough time in our country and our economy. We're all having a hard time with certain things, and we just need to stay positive and help each other and be there for other people, and help lead each other into greatness. Really. Being positive in this business. I mean, because there's a lot of letdowns. I mean, but we got to stay positive with it. Just don't be negative about it, because if you're negative, it's not healthy for you. But that's what I wanted to say, and I wanted to say also to Kat and Rob, thank you for having me on here. I really enjoyed this. This was a great experience for me. And Sonny, you had some of the advice that you give is unbelievable. I did watch a couple of your videos today. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service. I'm a veteran also. And thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight.
Perfect.
All right,
Rod
so
is
I'm still alive,
like,
barely.
go.
I dropped a new video today. Go check it out. I got a massive buy. And then I have whatnot scheduled for this Wednesday, the Disney one. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. So check my Instagram tomorrow. And then I got a pin one scheduled for, I think 7 or 7:30, or 7 o'clock on Friday. I bought this massive lot of pins. All the Disney pins are starting at $5, and they're super rare ones in there. It's great for a reseller to make money on. And tonight we probably didn't get a lot of questions. Sorry, me and Kat are under the weather. So send me personal messages on Facebook or Instagram. I will answer every single question. It just may take me a day or two to do it.
Yes, I answer all my messages as well. I have a high-end rhinestone show tomorrow night on Whatnot at 8:30 p.m. Rod's gone. Rod's going to bed. I have a high-end sterling silver estate on Friday night as well. And I want to thank Sonny and Chris and Rod, who I don't think he's still watching, but Rod for coming. I'm not feeling good either. And he through the computer got my bug that I had last week, and now I'm good at like you won't see it. Nobody knew when I had COVID, but thanks to Rod for sticking it out as well, and all of you in the chat. I appreciate it. Next week we are gonna have 365 Vintage Hunter. She has never been on before, as well as Dagny Flying Pig Thrifts. So it will be a fun show next week. Yes, definitely thank you to all of the veterans, my guests, as well as all of you in the chat. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so, so much. Bye for now.